All right, guys, let's do this. This is so funny. All right. So today, I want to talk about the ASICS Gel Nimbus 26. As a bigger guy, I got a couple shoes that I want to talk about as a bigger guy. But we're going to start with the Nimbus 26. And I'm making this video because there are a lot of guys out there making shoe content, which is awesome, and I respect it, and I love watching all of it. But there aren't a lot of guys that I'm finding that are making shoe content that look like me. I'm 6'1", 230 pounds. I run most of my runs like a good pace. It's like 9 minutes per mile. So I'm not a fast runner. I'm not a skinny runner. And those, I'm also a midfoot striker. And so that combination of frame and running mechanic makes it so not every shoe recommendation works for me. And I've just been having to figure it out on my own, what shoes work and what don't. So while I'm already doing that, I figured I might as well make some videos about the shoes that I'm using. So ran a 10K race earlier this week, Saturday today. Ran a 10K race on Wednesday, on New Year's Day, and that was a lot of fun. Definitely did a 10K PR. I ran 55 minutes and 47 seconds. Got second place overall. So that was kind of hype, actually. Been running for several years, but I just never decided to do a race. So I signed up for that one. So that was a lot of fun. And I ran that in the Super Blast too. I've really been liking ASICS. So my first few videos are going to be about ASICS. But today, talking about the Nimbus 26. I really like this shoe. I can say, as a bigger guy, there are definitely shoes that I sink into too far. Definitely bottom out in the forefoot, especially with the midfoot striker type of run. But I've been impressed with the Nimbus 26. And it's interesting because, I hear these reviewers talk about how it's clunky and can't go up to higher paces. Well, I can't go up to higher paces, so there's not a pace I can run that this shoe can't handle. I'm sure if you're running mile after mile at like a 650 pace, these shoes would not be the shoes you'd want. But we're out here, we're doing 3 to 7 miles every run at like a 10-minute pace. Yeah, these shoes are literally designed to do that. So they're perfect for that kind of run. We bigger guys, I don't think that the weight of the shoe matters as much for us. We already got extra weight going on. We got bigger legs, we got bigger bodies. A few extra grams on the foot is not going to make a difference in the same way it might for a really lightweight runner. So these reviewers talk about how it's heavy and chunky. So am I. So it's a perfect fit. I love using these as a recovery shoe, mostly just because they don't encourage me to go fast. And what I mean by that is that they feel great, they're very comfortable, but they don't have the design that propels you forward. It makes you really want to sprint. And I appreciate that. Oh, another intersection. I appreciate that because I don't always want to go fast. Sometimes my shoes are trying to make me go fast. feel like I have the sunglasses for no reason. And I definitely feel that with other shoes. And, you know, as someone who isn't a professional at doing this, it's hard for me to sometimes make sure that I'm monitoring my pace the right way. So, I just gotta run across this intersection and not die. Okay, we chilled. So, having a shoe like this that's extremely comfortable, but doesn't encourage speed necessarily, is great for a recovery shoe for me. It's got plenty of padding in the heel, which is good because, like I said, I am a midfoot striker, but when I'm recovering and running these slower paces, I tend to sink back onto my heels a little bit. Boom. 9:53. See, it's exactly what I'm talking about. We're out here on a recovery run. Haven't been able to run at all since my race. I went all out on that. 6 miles at a 8:55 pace is definitely the fastest I've run for that distance. And my legs, they were like, bro, don't do that again. So we've been taking it easy past couple of days, and this is my first run back out. But we're feeling good. The shoes are good. A big issue, in my opinion, is for us over heavier runners, we've got that overstriding problem. You know, we're landing with our heels too far out in front of our hips, and that's gonna hurt your knees so bad. And most of us already have bad knees, so it's important to think about where your foot is landing underneath your hips. And I feel like these shoes can help with that. They have a very wide midfoot. So they're not stability shoes by any means, but I find them extremely stable. And as you're focusing on making sure that your foot lands underneath you, not out in front of you, you tend to midfoot strike a little bit more than heel strike. And you know, that's good for our legs and our knees. So these shoes are definitely helpful when you're practicing something like that. Get across the street. Let's go. I feel like such a weirdo running with my phone like this. But it's what we're doing. I want to get the thoughts out of my head and onto the screen. So if anyone else is feeling the same way, they can get some insight. But I really like the shoe. I think it's perfect for cruising at whatever your pace. You know, it's not a shoe for sprinting. Hold on, gotta make sure I don't die. It's crazy. Drivers have no chill, bro. Obviously, it's not a sprinting shoe. I wouldn't do speed workouts in it. I wouldn't do short bursts of speed in it. But anything else where you're just, you know, we talk about marathon pace, half marathon pace, whatever. If you're just saying to yourself, I'm out going for a run, I think these make an excellent daily trainer. They'll handle most of your runs as a bigger runner. They'll handle slow runs, and they'll handle fast runs. Because again, our fast, you know, we're talking about anything down to 8 minutes a mile. These shoes can do that. They can handle that no problem. So don't believe these other guys that can run way faster than we can, that the shoes aren't, you know, worthy of our time or whatever. They most definitely are. Right now I'm running about 10-minute miles and I feel great. There's no problem. I want to talk about the shoe itself for a second though. There's a lot of padding, especially in the heel collar. And then I found, I don't have a high volume foot, but I found the top to fit a little snug. So if you're susceptible to your feet getting hot in the shoe, just know that I'm finding it a little warm. I mean, even right now it's snowing. It's 20 something degrees out. And I'm wearing pretty thin socks. My feet are warm. They're toasty. And I bought these in October, so I haven't had a chance to run in them in true summer weather. I have a feeling they're gonna be hot. And you know, us bigger guys, we have a tendency to have bigger feet and warm feet. So just know that. Just keep an eye out for that. They're a great winter shoe, like what I'm doing right now, but I do not know how they're gonna be in the summer. Let me check. 0.2 miles till we turn. This has just been one straight uphill. Oh, we love that. We love it. All right, other things about the shoe. It fits true to size. I wear a 12 and a half in all my running shoes. If you're new to what true to size means, like me, like I was, I wear a 12 in all my casual shoes. And I go half a size up for all my running shoes. I wear 12 and a half. And I wear that in pretty much every running shoe. I've done some 13s, but I didn't like it. So when I say true to size, what I mean and what most people mean is that it's true to the size that they normally wear in running shoes. So I normally wear 12 and a half if it's true to size. So my 12 and a half. Got plenty of room in the toes. What else we got? I mean, step in comfort in these is crazy. Oh, finally, a turn. Oh, nice. Like, when I stepped into these shoes, they're definitely the softest shoes I own. I did not expect the forefoot to be so squishy. It's like I can feel the padding coming up between my toes. Like it feels that soft. And whew, snow is coming in, bro. I'm gonna have to put these on just to be able to see. I mean, it feels great, don't get me wrong, but that was kind of surprising at first how soft they were. You know, as a big guy, I generally avoid soft shoes just because if they're already soft, then I'm out here putting my full weight into each step. They usually bottom out. They usually sink through the foam and I'm feeling the road. But ASICS have done a good job here. They're soft right under your feet, but they're a little bit more firm underneath. And I think that's why some runners call them blocky or chunky. That's fine. You know, when I hear those words, I'm happy because that usually means they're gonna be perfect for my frame. Oh, I gotta lock in. This is too much. All right, let's talk a little bit more about heavy guy mechanics in the Nimbus 26. So we've got shoes right here. Two things that are going to be important, especially for us heavier guys. is stride and cadence. And if you're new to those words, stride is like how far, it's kind of like how far in front of you your legs land. I'm no exercise scientist, so you're just gonna have to understand it the way I do. But if we're overstriding, it means that our legs are landing too far out in front of our hips. That's gonna give immense knee pain, and we don't want that. We're trying to run as far and as often as we can without injury. Turn left. I'm in the middle of the road, Frank. The other thing we're working on is cadence. Cadence is how many steps per minute you take. And these things go hand in hand because as you shorten your stride to be more square under your hips, then your cadence will increase as well. We have the tendency as bigger guys to kind of run like this. You know, kind of stomping a little bit. But what we need to be doing is shortening our stride and bumping up the cadence, taking more steps per minute. So we're not out here like this, but we're definitely engaging our core, engaging our hips and our knees as we drive forward with our knees. Literally like you're kneeing a sailor. You know, driving forward like that, keeping our feet square underneath our hips and letting our heels and our ankles flare up behind us a little bit as we drive with our knees. You know, professional runners are obviously, their cadences are like 180 steps per minute or something crazy. That's not what we're going for, but we are trying to bring it up, because the more that we focus on taking more steps, then we shorten our stride, reduce our risk of injury, and also, over time, we get faster. Just simple physics, the more your feet are touching the ground, the faster you can go. So, you don't want to be bounding around, as I know I tend to do. Get a little boundy, but we want to be quick with our feet making contact with the ground at the mid-foot area or forefoot or foot. It's gonna feel weird at first, and you know, take all this advice with a grain of salt as well. I'm saying it matter-of-factly, but the goal is to be running as often and as injury-free as you can. So don't change anything that makes it hurt. Also, I gotta run on the left side of the street. I'm not trying to get nailed by a car. We want to stay injury-free. We want to stay healthy. Honestly, we want to be having fun. So, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Try to implement things that you can, but don't overdo it. If you're already running and something works for you, you know, maintain that as you make gradual changes and improve slowly over time. And then your form will change and you'll become more efficient. But don't throw it all out the window just for better form right now. I hope you can hear a single word I'm saying. It's so windy. Anyway, let's get it. All right, we're just wrapping up the last half mile and just want to get my last thoughts out there. It's a good shoe. It helps you. I think it helps us as bigger guys working on our mechanics and stuff. I think it's a good shoe for that. I think it's a comfortable shoe, and I think it's an everyman shoe. I like everyman shoes because, you know, I'm not light enough or fast enough to always get the benefits of a super shoe. And I don't know, I think this is a great option for what you need it to do, you know, longer runs, slower runs, medium paced runs, anything that isn't a sprint, these shoes will do it for you. And they'll do it in comfort. That's the main thing. Like, my legs are gassed after my race on New Year's Day. You know, and today's what, 3 days later? What's that? 4 days later? My calves and my knees and my hips are just thrashed. But, you know, I come out here, do 5 miles, and they still hurt. It doesn't feel good, but my feet are fine. Because these shoes are protecting my feet and ultimately protecting my legs. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna be doing some more shoes, talking about some other shoes, some other ASICs in future videos. But just want to get these last few thoughts out as we finish up the run, and then just do a quick review when we're done. All right, bing, bang, boom, 5 miles, 10-minute pace. Oh, it's a good recovery. It is cold out here though. Holy smokes, it's cold. There's the shoes. We'll do a quick wrap up here in a second. Once I get some electrolytes and catch my breath. It's a beautiful day though. I mean, it's hard to complain when your views are like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's wrap this up. All right, boom. There's a shoe right there. I like that thumbnail. I'm gonna take that. Boom. All right. I'm not gonna give all the specs and stuff because you're an adult. You can go find the specs. I'm not here to peddle these shoes to you. I don't need to tell you everything about them, but I am gonna share my experience as a big guy with these shoes. I ran out there, I mean, you saw, the weather is awful, and grip was fine. Like, this rubber is fine. Like I was talking about, this base is so flared that for us bigger guys, as we're learning how to land kind of here on the foot instead of back here, this big wide base is going to catch you quite well. Plenty of foam. I mean, it's just such a soft shoe. These have, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 miles on them, and it doesn't even look like I've been wearing them at all. So the durability is great, comfort is great. These shoes, you're going to be able to use them for pretty much anything other than just an all-out sprint. I love them. They're super comfortable, a great daily trainer, a great recovery shoe, whatever you want to use them for. One last thing before we wrap up, talking about big guy running. It's going to be a fun ride. I'm just going to talk about what it's like to be a bigger guy in this hobby. And basically all I want to say to you is that if you are a bigger person and you're trying to get into this, you're trying to start running, you're trying to start jogging, whatever, I just wanted you to know there's a place for you. There's a place for us here. I mean, it's not just about the fastest or the furthest people can run and how small you are or how quick you are. I mean, this is just a hobby, and anyone can enjoy it no matter what you look like, no matter how much you weigh. Not every shoe is built only for the tiny guys. You know, these companies know this. They're building shoes for heavier runners, for lower cadence runners like us, and it's perfect. I mean, it's the best time to be a runner because you can be anybody. And I just want you to know you have a place. And I watch a lot of videos of shoes, and I watch a lot of running reviews, and there aren't a ton of guys that look like me or kind of built like me. So I wanted to start this journey. You know, I'm still learning. I mean, I've only been running for a couple of years, but I just want to put this out there just so people like me know that we're out here. People are out here, we're doing it. You know, we're not the fastest, we're not the most in shape, we're not the lightest runners, but we exist and we're out here and it's fun. I mean, like, ultimately that's why we do it, right? It's because it's fun. So I'm gonna share my journey of this. I'm just gonna make videos and talk about shoes and running and what it's like to be running at 230 pounds. And hopefully you enjoy the ride. So there we go. That's a wrap up of the shoe. ASICS Gel Nimbus 26. Recommend for the big guys. We'll catch you in the next one.